This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw & Associates. For over 70 years, Shaw & Associates has been your trusted experts for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. We change lives and inspire true wealth, one person, one family, one business at a time. Shaw & Associates is a wealth management investment firm that specializes in taxes, serving as a fiduciary, putting your interests first. You can find more information or schedule an appointment by calling 530-674-1150 or on the web at shawassociatesinc.com. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
And as always, we're grateful for Mr. Shaw. And you can support community radio. We are public supported by just going to 93qradio.com and hitting the donate button. Also, speaking of donating, this morning I have Amanda from SayLove, and that's a great place to donate not just money, but time. You can buy them lunch.
There you go.
You could. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning.
And you brought one of my favorite all-time dudes. He just is the dude, right? Where did you find this guy?
At the river. At the river.
Wow, Andre.
I'm like a stray dog down the bottom.
The river. I pick up strays from time to time.
Wash me off.
Oh man, Andre Licon,
Yes, sir.
and I don't even know when I met you. Somewhere in law enforcement, running around when I was
years.
chaplain, maybe.
Yeah.
And but man, you have laser focus, my man.
Thank you.
You get on something and it's going to get done. You stay with it, and so we're going to talk about that this morning and how you
Sounds
combine these two, right?
Yeah, I think it's been a fantastic partnership. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
So we'll jump on this real quick. So although you work for the sheriff's department, part of what you do is connect with the community, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Really,
Yeah.
that's kind of one of my primary roles within my current assignment.
Yeah, I saw you at the Be Prepared Fair.
Yep.
Last time I saw you, and you weren't uniform, and I was like, I know that guy. Right? It's like we get so used to seeing the uniform, and then we see you out of it. And it's like,
I think I was in my search and rescue uniform.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is a whole different realm.
Yeah, another facet of the job for sure.
But I do appreciate you rescuing me. That was nice of you to take care of that. Amanda, how did you get connected with Andre?
I really don't remember.
He pulled you over. No,
No, not him, no.
not him, another one.
Honestly, my mission was to get down to the river bottoms at some point in time, and I don't remember. But then I needed to be shown the river bottoms and like the layout, and he took me down there, and that's how the story started. Pretty much with that.
Is that always a project?
Yeah.
In one way or the other?
It's a perennial project for sure. So there's just, it's an area that can be geographically challenging for both enforcement as well as cleanup. And then there's just a demographic that you're constantly working with to address so that citizens within the county can use that area for recreation and feel safe at the same time.
I remember, and it's been a few years back, they went down there and they hauled out a huge number of vehicles. Mm-hmm. It was literally a bunch of cars and boats and stuff down there. And you're like, somebody just drives their car down there and walks away?
Well, I think that area where all the vehicles were, there's two areas. So we work, my project with SayLove is the Sutter County side. And I know that the Yuba County side had a lot of vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit different area. Same river, just the other side of the river, if you will.
So you guys watched them.
No.
Did you watch us on there?
No.
Hey, go! You guys go for it!
I
Right?
worked both sides of the river.
Yeah, you guys doing great work over there.
Yeah.
But we did. We had an area that is actually Sutter County land. A lot of people don't realize there's Sutter County land across the river. On the Yuba County side, there is an area that is Sutter County. And we were fortunate to be able to partner with several organizations a few years ago and had a similar project with a lot of vehicles and ad hoc structures and trailers and things like that we removed. So it happens.
Yeah, somebody had put a picture up where somebody actually dug a hole in the side of the levee to live in. And I'm thinking, That's got to be dangerous. You dig a hole in a levee. That just can't be a good idea.
It's
know?
definitely not structurally
Yeah,
engineered.
It's throughout the river bottoms. It's unfortunate, but they are digging holes.
Oh, my gosh.
Humans are digging holes.
Yeah.
And that's always a concern, both for the welfare of the individual, but also, of course, for the structural integrity of the levee. You don't want anything to happen that would compromise the safety of anyone.
Well, and that would be my thought. I can understand, hey, I want shelter. I'll dig a hole. This is good, right? I'm safe in here. At the same time, this is not healthy for you, right? That's the whole point. And that's why you got involved. It's for the health of all of them.
Absolutely.
You just absolutely, and you're that kind of guy.
Thanks.
I'm pretty sure if I was in a hole, any kind of hole, Andre would help me out.
Literally or metaphorically.
Metaphor. Fish, bad idea. Come on. So, Amanda, is there a current project running to keep that area
There
squared away?
is. We go out every Monday. When my schedule allows, we take a group on out. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 people. Sometimes it's 5 to 10. And then our SayLove Saturdays, that's one of our projects as well, is going down to the river bottoms. So it's ongoing. Yeah, one trip out there wasn't going to do it. And I'm like, 2 trips is not going to do it. This needs to be something continuous. If we're going to really not reclaim our river bottoms, but keep them cleaner, it's going to be an ongoing effort. And I don't like to start something without getting something completed out of it. I don't know if there's ever going to be completion, but I'm going to try.
Well, that's it. If somebody does, look, it's like I tell people, cleaning your garage. You look in there and go, okay, I got to get that out. But to get that out, I got to move this. And then and then pretty soon you go, forget it. I'm going to go in and watch TV, And it's like that. You have to, one piece at a time, be thrilled with the piece that you do. And when I think of SayLove, it's very much like that, always has been. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how many projects you do on the last Saturday of every month. See how I slid into that?
Yeah, thank you.
The next Saturday, there will still be more projects.
Absolutely.
But in the end, our area, our cities, they're looking better.
Absolutely.
All because a guy said somebody dumped a couch or a refrigerator.
Mattress.
What it was?
Yes, it was a mattress.
Was it a mattress?
It was a mattress out on the back
Jeff
roads.
said, "What? They're probably dumping them on other people's stuff," and boom, SayLove gets born, right? Yeah. I appreciate the Sutter County Sheriff Department for a lot of reasons. I actually like Brandon Barnes, but don't make that public, right? Pretty soon
I like him too.
They'll show I'm showing favoritism, right? But I just like how the Sheriff's Department tries to expand on both sides of the river. Sheriff is different than PD,
yes.
right?
Yeah, different role.
You guys have a lot more land, a lot more different elements to it, like you said, search and rescue. But I love the foresight of saying, look, we need somebody that will go after this. But they had to find you because it had to be somebody who had a heart to do it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You can't just, the training takes you so far.
Right.
The individual takes you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Well, that's a good line.
That is.
I should use that.
You should license that or trademark it.
Feel free, Andre. That's yours now. You can say that. The training took me this far. Anyway, so I know that becomes an element, and the goal in the end is to help people. And so whether you're picking up the trash, which helps us all, which people do feel if they go in an area, if it's cleaned up, they feel better about going there. Right, just to go, and then the people that are there helping them to be safe.
Sure. Well, I think and I think she would agree that, if you were to go to an area for recreational purposes, whether it's fishing or your children or walking your dog or trail run, whatever the case, all the activities that we would love to have people do in the river bottoms. If you don't have that trash debris there, you're going to be inclined to feel safer because you think, oh, this is well traveled, it's well maintained, it's cared for, it is given attention, and I can enjoy this area, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. So you're going out every Monday?
Every Monday. Every Monday. Every Monday. I
gave me that little sleepy-eyed look when you said it. Like
I used to take my Mondays. That was like a day off, kind of doing computer work. Now it's like, no, we need to hit the ground, do some work. I mean, it was actually kind of sad this past Monday. There is an array of different age groups that were utilizing the river bottoms to live in, I believe. They have campsites. They were down there. They don't look clean, hungry. So it was just sad. It was sad for me. It was sad for my volunteers to see that. So it's been going on for years. So I don't know how that's going to get remedied, but we're going to do what we can do while we can.
I think it was Johnny Burke. He can correct me if I'm wrong. But Johnny was part of that, finding out how many homeless we have.
They call that the pit. Point in time count.
Yes. And he said, actually, we're gaining ground. It's not as much as we would like, but we are gaining ground in helping people get out of the situations they're in. I think it's a little bit going back to the cleaning the garage or cleaning the river bottoms. If one person gets help, takes the help, and moves forward, it's success.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to look at it one by one, and pretty soon our whole area changes.
Well, I think it's important too with that, as the conversation gets to that point, to recognize that we have a street nurse that goes out. There's a social worker that's embedded with her, and so they're doing outreach at the ground level, right? They have their own vehicle. They're contacting people throughout the community that are in those situations. There is an outreach team that I'm also part of that has a housing navigator and folks to get them into housing and shelter if desired, right? That's the point that we're kind of at. So a lot of those folks that we still encounter, say in the river bottoms or even areas of Yuba City, are folks who've been offered services or housing or shelter and have declined services. So, I think a good faith effort has been made to get those folks into shelter and get them services. But for various reasons, many times they're not ready. And that's the problem.
Andre, there are people who live up in the foothills off the grid because they want to.
Right.
And I think we forget. There can be a want to.
Sure. There's a point of free will.
Yeah, you can help all you want, but you can't change that.
Right.
That's the part they have to change. And I remember there was a young man when I lived in, actually I was going to church in downtown Sacramento, and this guy, he got a little check from Social Security or something, and he'd always come up to me and ask me for $2 every time he saw me, and he could go buy Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Now I don't think $2 would do it, but it tells you how logo.
You might get a biscuit.
But I asked him one day, I said, you get a check, because I had talked to the bishop. He had talked to the bishop of the church. I said, you could have an apartment. And he said, I don't want an apartment. So there was an old truck in a field. He slept under the old truck. And he liked it. It was like, so,
that was what his comfort level was.
Yes,
sure.
And it's like I can't make the guy, and he had the money to do it. I couldn't make him do it, right? But I thought, I'm not staying at the Red Truck Inn. I kind of like having a bed, right?
Yeah.
But I do understand that. But for the ones that we can, we're going to continue to try.
Yeah,
it's
always,
that simple.
Always.
Yeah.
I was talking about being down there every Monday. I think it's really important for us as an organization and as a community to recognize SayLove for the efforts that they put forth. This past summer, when we went through and we cleaned out our side of the river, the Feather River bottoms from Shanghai Bend to essentially Mosquito Beach, within that span, we pulled out 1,400 cubic yards of trash and debris.
Wow!
So for the layperson who to put that into context of scale, that's 140 full-size dump trucks that you might see hauling gravel from like Butte Sand and Gravel or somewhere.
That's incredible.
And with that said, even removing that much material, when we go through with our equipment, and largely just due to staffing, we can only take the big stuff. We don't have time or the opportunity or the resources to go through and pick all the small things. And really, it's anything smaller than, say, like a toaster, and sometimes a little bigger than that. So to have SayLove be able to partner and come through with their crew and their staff and be able to remove all those small items, it makes such a huge difference. And I jokingly coined the term litter glitter this past summer, because we would go through and remove all the big stuff, but you'd still see all this plastic and paper and things that we just couldn't get. We just didn't have the time or the resources to do that. And so for SayLove to be able to come in now and address that issue has been instrumental.
So I have to ask you, Andre, it sounds to me like I love this community. I love the way we try to help each other. Everybody's on board. Do you get a lot of help from other agencies, other organizations that say, hey, I know you're doing this, like the collaboration with SayLove? Do you have other people that say, hey, how can I help?
We do in some cases. SayLove is obviously a top tier partner in anything, but we've partnered with the City of Yuba City. We've partnered with different agencies, city and municipality and county, to try to get the job done. It's a little challenging when you partner with commercial businesses sometimes.
Yeah.
They're just logistical issues. They're great folks. It's just sorting it all out. Sometimes it's tricky and scheduling and things like that. But the City of Yuba City has been a great partner, and we work well with them and their road crews and our road crews, and it's been good. We've achieved the goals that we need to achieve, which is the important part.
Yeah. I can go down to the river bottoms, lay a blanket down, little suntan
There you
lotion.
go. There
It's
you go.
summer.
That's what it felt like all last week.
I know, summer's
Sweaty,
coming.
it was hot. Allergies floating through the air.
Amanda, you realize you're supposed to be working when you're down there. Oh,
I know.
I'm going to
you
go
still
check
have a
on
good
you on
time.
Mondays.
It really is a good time.
You're down there with your little umbrella, a fishing pole. Yeah, exactly.
No, that is my escape from the chair. It's hard to get me in the chair.
Oh, I
don't
have
like
the hardest time. This is indoors.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, it
I'm
is.
okay. There's a little better. There's a little room. But once I was offered an accounting position, and my instructor took me down to see it. All these guys in these little cubicles with just a computer in front. I went, sir, I appreciate you thinking I can do this. I would die in here.
I'll do 10 keep. I don't
Would
like
you?
it.
I gotta
don't
get
like
out.
it.
Can I get out somewhere? And it's like, and then, Andre, you got a great outside job.
Yeah.
I am incredibly blessed to have the position
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
I can't thank the sheriff enough for giving me this opportunity because I think it's a great fit for me, and I think it's a great fit for the department. So
How long have you been in law enforcement?
since 2004, so I'm just almost getting it figured out.
So where did you? I love that. So where did you start at? Did you start
This
with
is it.
Sutter?
This is the only agency I've ever
Oh,
worked for.
come on!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like a franchise player.
Yeah, really. Because everybody I meet, including Sheriff Barnes,
Yeah.
He's worked on both sides of the river. He just loves law enforcement.
Sure.
The
Yep.
whole thing. And so, yeah. So, and I meet a lot of people that say, "Oh, yeah, I used to be here. I used to be at this agency." You've been with the same one. You're like
My
my
entire career.
hero, man.
Yeah.
You're like a St. Louis Cardinals player that stays with St. Louis, right? We're
Pretty much.
looking for that. Come on, Andre.
Well, I think in any organization, it doesn't matter if it's law enforcement or private industry, I think there's tremendous value. If an organization treats you well, then it's your, I don't know, responsibility maybe, but just morally and ethically to return that, right? So you give what you get, and I've been treated well at the organization, and I try to represent the organization accordingly, and I think it's a good relationship, very symbiotic.
I like
Well
that.
said.
Very good.
Yeah. Wow, Amanda. Top that.
I'm not even going to try. I'm just appreciative, when I went down there with him for the first time, I'm like, get back in the truck. I'm thinking, get back in here. It is not safe out there. So no, thank you. We are very appreciative of what you do at the River Bottoms. I'm not going to top what he just said.
I do have to ask you this. I got a chance again at that event for Be Prepared. I got to see you and Jeff there at the same time, and I was like ignoring Jeff. Right, you're done, Jeff. This is not you anymore, right?
Yeah.
But it will always be something he is very grateful for.
Absolutely.
Because it really took a life of its own. SayLove has its own life now. And then you had to step in there, which, if I was your dad, I'd be going, I'm proud of you, girl. You just do it. You just keep going, right? But this is huge for you, isn't it?
It is. I left my Sutter County job after 9 years, I believe, and I was just tired of being in a building. I was tired of being in a building, and I had been volunteering with SayLove for about 7 or 8 years. I'm like, let's do this. Jeff's like, I really need somebody. Now, no, I really need somebody. And I'm like, well, let me think about this. I don't know. This is all an array of different jobs to do. But I'm like, you know what? That's how my brain works anyways.
Yeah.
So he's got me. He got me there.
Well, we're glad because it's important. If something's going to continue, you have to have the passion to do it. I don't care
Absolutely.
what it is. I wouldn't get up at 4:30 and do this if I didn't think it was important. I think this is valuable to the community. I think 93Q, being able to do these interviews, which wasn't my idea originally. It was a guy that started this with me. I just never thought about that, right? I just thought radio. But this, man, people, the mandate for us is to educate and inform. And every time we do an interview, the people get to find out one more thing about our community. And I just love it. So it's the only reason I get up and have coffee.
That's a good reason.
Drag myself in here.
Your double brew, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
my drive-through and my home brew.
Yeah. This. There are days when I'll get up and it'll be late, and I think, if I could just sleep another 5 minutes. And there have been times when I unfortunately shut my alarm off and barely got in here on time. No coffee, just enough time to get in, hit the button, right? You know? It's like,
well, you probably just blinked your eyes, but it took 30 minutes for that one blink, right?
That's how it felt.
You were talking about the interviews, and I think there's tremendous value in that, because to me that gives a great deal of insight that the average person wouldn't get, right? They don't know the personality of the individuals, they don't know what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve, and it gives so much more backside to the story. And a prime example is this project and partnership, and so it gives a lot more information I think people would normally have available to them.
Well, and that's been my hope. And it really, to be honest, Andre, it started with law enforcement. I got tired of hearing the national narrative about our law enforcement. And at that time, I was a chaplain for Yuba City PD, and it was like, they don't know these guys.
Right.
They don't know the people that are serving them and protecting them. They don't know them. All they know is a uniform and what they hear on TV. And so we started, all 5 agencies were coming in here. And then we started finding out, that guy could be your kid's football coach, right? That guy is, like, you guys actually have a life when you take the uniform off. That's incredible, right?
Especially in a small town.
Yeah, you actually do it. I'll never forget the CHP guy, Brian. I'm talking to him, and one day out here, we just started talking about running. I used to run, right? Found out the guy went out for Ironman competition. I'm like, what? Nobody knew that, right? Just great stuff.
And that's a worthy accomplishment for anyone.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We brought him back in. I took him in the podcast room, and we talked about before he ran and the training, and after he did it. Amazing. So yeah,
we're gonna set up a course in the River Bottoms for Amanda. It's like a SayLove Iron Man, Iron Woman.
I ran down there. Trust me, I ran.
Andre, have you ever done land nav?
I have.
Okay. So I used to teach a course on that. I wrote a book on it, and so I have always thought, how come we don't have a land nav course around here? People, it would be so much fun. It's where you literally take a compass, go point to point, and you can do a timed event or whatever, but it's fun, and it doesn't take a lot of equipment.
Right.
A compass.
Yeah, you're into it for a compass and
a stick in the
minimal
ground.
equipment.
Yeah, you know. So anyway, enough on that. Amanda, thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being willing to come back in. I got to see you twice this week.
Yes, you did.
Lucky
yes, you did.
me.
Thank you for having me as always. I appreciate the community outreach.
Yeah. And we actually already had you in the tank.
You did. I didn't know if I was going into Shark Tank or what. You're like something low drag. I'm like, I had to Google this. What does this mean, fish? So it went very well. Thank you.
And coming up, we're going to get Andre in the tank.
Ooh,
We are. Tank. So we can find out, what was Andre like at 12?
We didn't go that far back.
The laugh just told me exactly what was. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming on. Don't forget, is it this Saturday?
This Saturday is SayLove Saturday. We have 3 different locations, starting at 7:30 in the morning, going to noon, and then we join up for lunch.
So Yuba City is Hope Point.
The Hope Nazarene Church.
Hope Nazarene Church.
George Washington.
Marysville is the 530 Event Center. And Olivehurst is the park.
Is the community park. Yes.
I can't believe I remembered that.
Oh, you're on it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.